I'm trapped in a quiet life now because the day my own son told me my only purpose was to raise his children while he enjoyed his life, something inside me finally broke. I looked him in the eyes and calmly told him that if my only value was free labor, then he could start paying his own bills because I was leaving. The silence that followed changed all of our lives forever. My name is Evelyn, and I was 72 when my son Ryan called, saying his family desperately needed me. He told me his wife Ashley was overwhelmed, his job demanded constant travel, and they only needed temporary help until life settled down. Believing every word, I sold the little house where I had spent years rebuilding my life after my husband passed away. I left behind my peaceful garden, my memories, and nearly everything I owned, because I believed family came first. I moved into their home with 2 suitcases, convinced I was becoming part of a loving family again. At first everything seemed perfect. I cooked every meal, cleaned the house, washed clothes, packed school lunches, and cared for my 3 grandchildren from sunrise until bedtime. Ryan and Ashley constantly thanked me while disappearing on frequent trips they claimed were business-related. I believed I was helping them survive a difficult season until one afternoon I accidentally discovered Ashley posting luxury vacation photos from tropical beaches during the same days. They claimed to be attending work conferences. The real shock came when my 16-year-old granddaughter, Emma, quietly took me to her room. She showed me screenshots from her parents' private messages. Months before asking for my help, they had planned everything. They knew selling my house would give them access to my savings. They joked about replacing an expensive nanny with free grandma labor. They laughed about giving me the smallest room, because someone my age did not need comfort. They even planned to convince me to sign legal documents, giving them complete control of my savings, remaining money, before eventually placing me in a nursing home, once I became useless. My heart shattered, but my tears quickly turned into determination. With the help of an old attorney and Emma, I secretly gathered proof. Bank statements showed nearly $30,000 had disappeared from my savings. Receipts proved my money paid for luxury vacations, expensive jewelry, designer clothes, and restaurant dinners. Hidden files on Ryan's computer even contained a document outlining every step of their plan to manipulate me from the beginning. Instead of confronting them immediately, I waited. I acted like the same loving grandmother while quietly preparing my escape. When Ryan and Ashley returned from another vacation, they expected me to sign paperwork giving them legal control over my finances. Instead, while they unpacked upstairs, Emma and I loaded our bags into my old car, left behind a letter explaining everything, and drove away forever. My attorney immediately froze what remained of my money and filed lawsuits for financial exploitation. Ryan called hundreds of times, switching from anger to guilt to fake apologies, but I never answered. Ashley even begged me to drop the case, claiming they only stole because they were drowning in debt. For the first time in my life, I refused to carry someone else's consequences. Eventually, Ryan agreed to return most of the stolen money, repay the value of my sold belongings, admit what he had done in legal documents, and leave Emma and me alone. I accepted because I wanted justice, not revenge. Sending my son to prison would never heal what he had already broken. Emma chose to stay with me, and together, we started over in a small apartment filled with second-hand furniture, potted herbs, and something we had both been missing for years: peace. She finally felt seen, and I finally remembered that my worth was never measured by how much I sacrificed for others. Months later, I found a part-time job at a neighborhood flower shop, while Emma flourished in school and art. My son occasionally tried reaching out, but I never returned to the life where I was treated like unpaid help instead of family. I still loved my grandchildren, and I hoped one day they would understand why I left. Sometimes loving people means refusing to let them keep hurting you. Looking back, I did not lose everything that day. I lost a lie. What I gained was far greater. I found my dignity, my freedom, and the courage to choose myself after a lifetime of choosing everyone else. I finally learned that love without respect is not love at all, and sometimes the bravest thing a person can do is quietly walk away and never look back.